Hey everyone, thanks again for joining me for this week's Soulmate Oracle reading. Okay, for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Anne and I give general readings focusing more on spiritual connections. That includes all divine soulmates, twin flames, twin rays, karmic connections, past life connections, anybody that you have a spiritual connection to. I'm going to be focusing more in this general area. Also, if you're just going through romantic type of relationship that you like to get more pointers on what messages are being given to you so that you can use to your highest good to find that divine partner that you're looking for. Okay, so well, we're now, for us in the U.S., we're coming into the Thanksgiving time of the year, holiday season for us in the U.S., and it's one of my favorite holidays. I love Thanksgiving because it's about giving back, it's about giving gratitude, it's about just, in general, just having the feeling of love in your heart. And I talk about this all the time because sometimes we fail to love ourselves, and it's not something that's uncommon. It's like we tend to be preoccupied by everything that we forget that the most important person to love is yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to accept love from anyone, and how are you going to give love? So it's really important when it comes to relationships, and that's, you know, personal, romantic, family, just people in general, because when we have love, we give out love. So when we love ourselves, we're automatically expressing that love. It's empowering energy. And I find that Thanksgiving, for me anyways, gives me a sense of like, I can do this. I can feel the love that everybody's giving because the energy is just so intense. For those of us who are empathic, like myself, can feel this time of the year. Sometimes it can be a little bit, it can drain you, yes, and it can also be very uplifting. So even if you're in another area, I know I'm talking about because us in the US, but it is a time of giving. So I like to embrace it wherever I'm at, and in any country. I think this is just universal for all of us. If you're in another country that doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, you do know how to give gratitude. You do feel gratitude. So it is a time to celebrate. It is a time to give. I love all holidays. Even if my holiday is not here in my country, I like to give whatever it is that is other people are basically engaging in. And now, what I said before about loving yourself, it's really important, but also giving gratitude to yourself. Do something special for yourself. I know this sounds like, well, I do things for myself, but maybe this is a time for you really to do something for yourself. And, you know, we're coming to new beginnings, and the new year is around the corner. And I know a lot of people are like, wow, it's so fast. And it is fast. But you know what? We still have time. So let's prepare. Preparing for the love that you want to feel in your life and what you want to give out in your life. Basically, it's an energy exchange. That's what I do with these readings. I love to give out these readings, and I make it my business consecutively, weekly. I give out these general love readings to help you, to help me, to empower us, to whatever messages that come through. Okay, so but if you're interested in booking your own personal reading, I do that, and the links are down below in the description area. Also, I will be releasing more videos upcoming this hopefully this year. If not, definitely into the next year. It's been a little bit chaotic lately, but it's all good. It's getting better. So without further delay, let's begin. Okay, I've meditated and shuffled the cards, asking the angels and spirit guides on what we need to know in order to empower our relationships, to use for our highest good, whatever messages come through, for us to embrace whatever it is for this upcoming holiday, or just upcoming week with whatever we're dealing with at the moment. The cards that I've used were the very beautiful Heal Yourself reading cards by Inna Siegel, and these were a lovely gift from my sister Mary. And the first card that I pulled, Rejection. Okay, this card is signifying a lot right now. She's trying to find something inside of her soul center, and it seems like there's an attachment there. As you could see, there's something that's pulling on her, and she's feeling rejected. This is Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine has a sense that things have gone in so many different directions that the divine masculine hasn't seen where his true potential is in life. Yes, he's trying to, the divine masculine has been trying to find the proper way, the direct path on where they're supposed to be going. But it seems like the rejection that happened maybe several years ago or just recently, it seems like it's completely like consuming us. And in a sense where it's consuming us, when we think about these past energies and negativities, the rejection seems to, it seems to absorb inside of us, that we end up feeling like we're rejected by everyone. And that's not the way to be. The proper way to be is focusing on yourself, not focusing on what someone could not see inside of you, or maybe you two couldn't see eye to eye. You were not rejected. It wasn't a time and place. It wasn't a time for you two to be together. Whatever the case may be, or maybe you were just not accepted in something that you felt that you should have been in, maybe in a society or a culture or a situation where you did not feel complete. This is not coming from that person or the situation, but actually from yourself, because no matter where you're at, we are all equal. Some people just fail to see certain things, and then they end up giving like a negative energy that you end up adapting, maybe in a wrong sense, or maybe you adapted in the right sense. But whatever that may be, the rejection that you're feeling, or you're maybe thinking about, the energies that happened before, because it happens to all of us. We all get rejected in some type of way, and we move on. And you know what? That's like kind of like a lesson for us to understand that just because we're being rejected from a certain person or a situation or someone, or it's just not coming through what we want, we can't find the love we're looking for, you're not being rejected. You're just not finding the right place and time. It isn't your time. It isn't your time to shine just yet. And that's why these kind of things that happen are actually just like kind of like reminders of us to keep going, to keep moving. Once you fall, if you fall down like a little baby tries to walk, the baby gets right back up and tries all over again until they get it right. Okay, so that's the idea here. Divine masculine is an ego-based energy that we have inside of us, and it goes for both men and women. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's for the man, but the rejection that you may be adapting to is not coming from someone. It's actually something that you're holding on to. It's an insecurity. Okay, and then next card. Okay, inner child. And this is a very beautiful card. I mean, they're all beautiful cards. I did an unboxing video a few weeks back, and I got to show everybody the beautiful cards. But these cards somehow, they kind of like, they're not dark, but they're very intense. You know, as you can see, the pictures just like really like amplify something. And the inner child here is, she's searching. Now, this is representing the divine masculine, as I always try to split them apart a little bit so that we can understand where it's coming from. A certain balance with divine and masculine and divine feminine inside of us is where we need to know in order for us to grow spiritually with love. Okay, so the inner child is feeling rejected. This is why it is right next to each other. That's why it's coming out together in a pair. Because the inner child is feeling rejected, the inner child needs to find their true center. Maybe there's something that you're not looking at. You're not looking at what is truth in your heart. And, you know, as we're coming now into a time with giving gratitude and giving thanks and just about sharing love because of Thanksgiving, or if you're not necessarily participating from your area, you still have the option of giving thanks. The giving thanks shouldn't just be on November or October. It should be 365 days a year, because when we give thanks, we're giving gratitude to the higher above, we're giving gratitude to God, and we're thanking we're being thankful, I should say, for everything that we have in our lives. This is where the inner child ignites and starts to shine, starts to embrace more on the outside. The divine masculine needs to put away any kind of feeling of rejection. That's why Divine Masculine, we've been seeing the Divine Masculine is trying to come out. The Divine Masculine seems like they want to come out, but in a collective, it seems like they are starting to come out, but it seems like things are being slacked off and things are being stretched out. You know, you notice like things that should have happened seem to be like branched out for a little bit of a longer period, and a lot of impatient energy is coming through. That's not the way to be. Find your inner child. Your inner child is what's going to help calm you and find what you're looking for, because when you continuously try to knock on the door to somebody, trying to understand what they're all about and why they're not giving in to what you're trying to say to them, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to pursue in a relationship, you're actually putting yourself in a predicament where they can actually, they will actually give, not that they're going to give negativity, but they're going to just not respond to you, or they're just not going to give to you everything that you need, because of the inner child needs to shine their true light. So whatever the case may be, try your best not to, you know, look at so much of past stuff, especially now as we're coming into the holidays. We have a tendency to remember maybe anniversaries of a certain situation or a time that seemed to go through a lot of, I'm not saying it was turmoil, but it was more of like maybe it was complicated. And because it was complicated, it puts your soul center completely down. This is why your vibration needs to be up during the holidays. This is why I mean, yes, maybe you like to sing certain melodies and holiday songs and just hum along with them. Sometimes they overplay in a store wherever you go. That's fine. You know, hum along, just go along with it, because it's part of the kind of like where we're environment, where we're living in our lives. But don't put yourself in a place where you're pulling yourself down and you're turning everything that's around you into a negative, no matter what happened in the past. Because guess what? When you keep embracing what is being around you, the energies that you see people showing light, showing love, you will absorb it and you will understand it. You will take it with you. You will bring it into your life. It's kind of like a contagious thing, because sometimes we just don't want to understand it, or we just don't want to participate. That's fine, but try your best to work on you to feel the light, because that's what the holidays is about. I mean, I'm not saying to engage in a certain holiday routine that everybody else is doing, but do your own stuff. Do what you feel, you know, makes you feel happy. Maybe it's, you know, going for, you know, like something. I mean, there are so many different things to do during this time of the year, and I can go on and on, but you know what I'm talking about. To find your inner child, maybe go back to when you were a child, maybe when you were waking up and noticing presents around you, but you don't have to, you know, literally go buy yourself presents, but you're just finding all the blessings and looking at all the blessings and say, wow, I didn't realize this. Looking at through eyes of an inner child can make you see things differently. And that's what's necessary for the Divine Masculine right now. Okay, next card. Healing. Okay. Now, like I said, these cards are very different. They're very intense. I love the colors. It looks like, you know, healing from something that occurred, and she's around the candle. She's either praying or she's meditating or she's doing something to just heal herself. Sometimes you have to see these things in order to, oops, I apologize for the light. Let's just scoop that up a little bit. Okay. As far as the healing goes, you know, you're healing deep inside. You're always healing. You're always trying to find an inner circle with yourself and, you know, going with it. Because when you first like heal, you sometimes feel like, okay, something is going on. I have to release it. It's kind of like when you're sick, when you have a cold. Well, the same thing goes on with your spirit. You're letting loose. You're eliminating whatever is necessary to find what it is that you need to heal to get better. Okay, Divine Feminine seems to be doing that. I mean, Divine Feminine has been coming out and releasing a lot, but there's still a lot that Divine Feminine needs to understand with herself, with their self, I should say, because it's, like I said, it's both men and women. But when I say she, I'm referring it because it's a feminine energy. Not the person is a feminine energy, obviously. But what I'm saying is that healing comes from within. And if you don't allow it to manifest whatever it is that is being given to you, what is being brought to you in front of you, well, you're never going to heal, and you're never going to get past your fear-based energy, because we all have the fears. That's why sometimes it's best to just let it go. It's like she's releasing, she's letting go, she's understanding that this candle, this flame, this light is going to help her. And healing just that, you know, getting rid of whatever it takes to find your true center, your authentic self. Now, you may be in a relationship where it seems like this person just doesn't get you, and this person just doesn't want to hear you. And I mean, we hear this time and time again that, you know, like it's time to move on, or we hear from other people that this person is just not into you, or whatever. People will tell you things because that's what, you know, their take on the situation, and maybe they're right. I'm not saying that they're not, but you have to find what is truly happening here. Are you healing from it? Are you actually getting past all this? Are you going through all of this to help you to find someone else that will give you that feeling? Maybe you're preparing for something. This is a message that you have to think about. This is a message that is given to you. I can't tell you what to do with your situation, but I just felt like telling somebody that maybe it's time to just move away from a situation and maybe wait and see how it goes, because you're not letting yourself heal. Because I feel that sometimes we do this to ourselves. We self-sabotage ourselves from fulfilling the love in our life. I mean, yeah, we could feel love for someone and then feel the rejection and then feel like we need to heal from it. I mean, this is all part of what you're going through, and maybe you're not liking what I'm saying, but you really have to think about it. Or it could be the total opposite. Maybe you have to find what it's necessary for you to heal, to get past all of this, so that when the time is meant for you to be together, it will happen. So everybody is different, everybody is unique, so I don't want to confuse you, but the message here is healing. I can feel the energy, healing, finding your inner child, and letting go of rejection. As you can see, rejection sometimes can do a number on us, where, you know, we start to put negative things in our minds, and everybody that we come across, we feel rejected by them because we were rejected, if that makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, sometimes you can be with the perfect person and they can show you and shower you with love and show you all this beautiful, they adore you. But though you're still feeling rejected because you're holding on to something. And I see this all the time. Don't let it happen to you. I mean, that's the healing. That's letting go. This is what it is. You're not ready for that relationship. And maybe that's why you could be alone also. Maybe you're not clicking with anyone because you haven't let go of the guilt or the pain or something that just left you with an uneasy feeling. Yeah, it wasn't resolved. You know, something did not have closure to it. I mean, I can't tell you what that may be. Only you'll know. Okay, let's go to the last card. This is a very interesting card. As you can see, take off your mask. And very pretty colors. She's got some ballerina shoes there. She looks like a ballerina, I guess. She's got like a little cat mask. Okay, so artwork is very beautiful, so I apologize if I'm just gazing into it. Taking off your mask, because sometimes we wear a mask in society because we're different, and we feel like sometimes people are not going to accept us, or we're not doing things appropriately like the way we should be doing it, like the way others will be doing it. And that's common, you know, anytime you get into something new, a project, you get into a school, a new relationship, just join a new club, or just doing something new. You walk into a room, you kind of get like, I wonder what everybody's going to be thinking about me. Not because you're judging yourself, but you're afraid that maybe you've been or going to be judged. And that's going to happen everywhere you go. Okay, you walk in a mall, you walk in everywhere, and someone just gives you a look. It's not because they're looking at you because there's something wrong. They're looking at you like, oh, someone just walked in. You know, like it's nerves you have because you've been rejected, or maybe you felt neglected. You know, it all comes together. if you're not getting the love that you had before or you wanted before, but didn't get the love that you wanted, you kind of like take that alongside with you. You carry that heavy backpack with, you know, all that unnecessary stuff, like I talked about before. This card is telling you Divine Feminine wants to take off her mask because it's time. It's time to just shine. And you know what? Exploring different areas. And you know what? If anybody does seem to judge you or seem to be looking at you weird or, you know, whatever they're doing, maybe they should be judging themselves because they're the ones that are doing this. They're kind of like when people are negative towards you, it's maybe because they're negative towards themselves. So you shouldn't take it to heart. Taking off your mask when you're in a relationship is really, really, really necessary because a lot of times you're acting like this person that you think you're supposed to be acting like. Maybe your upbringing. Maybe there was something that you were taught that I'm supposed to be this person and I'm supposed to be proper and I'm supposed to, you know, not allow this to happen and not allow this to happen. You know, it's like kind of like a religious thing, but it's not a religious thing, but, you know, just something that you were taught. You know, it was kind of like you were brought up to believe something and that's the way you have to be. No, be yourself. Be your authentic self. Because once you do finally come through and finally say, I'm done with this and I'm going to be my authentic self, and whoever doesn't like it, well then, you know, there's nothing I can do. Guess what? I'm sure a lot more people will like the authentic you. We are not perfect. We are far from being perfect. All of us. We are. We try to be perfect and maybe we can pretend we're perfect and perfected in a certain sense to ourselves because we are perfect to ourselves. The one thing you have to remember is don't underestimate yourself. Don't like put down your self-worth. Don't put down yourself because that's going to bring your vibration down. And trust me, it happens to me too. I get like this as well. And now that we're coming into, like I said, a healing time of Thanksgiving and giving back in a sense of with gratitude to everybody around us. You know, this is a time when everybody has energy with gratitude. You know, you see it everywhere, giving thanks, regardless of what it represents. I mean, yeah, there's history behind all of this. And you know what? Some of it is good, some of it is not. I mean, it's all about what you feel in your heart, the gratitude. That's what is important here. It's all about thanks, that word thank you. Some of you may not participate in eating this type of food, or you know, you don't engage in Thanksgiving because you just don't, you're not in a country that celebrates it, or maybe it's not the time for you guys. Whatever the case is, it's a good time to just embrace the holiday season, the energy of it, whatever that may be, whatever culture, whatever type of religion you are. This is all about you bringing in the love, because we're coming now into a new year, and slowly as this new year comes in, we want to bring it in the best way we can. There's a lot of good and bad in every single year. We say this all the time. You know, I'm going to make this year the best year, and yes, you are going to make it the best year ever. It's going to be amazing. It's a good time to start writing out planners and making a list of what you want now. I know it's because we're slowly, you know, coming into, well, we are into the Mercury Retrograde season. So, you know what, it's kind of like, don't put out any new, I should say, don't put anything to work right now. Planning it is one thing, but making it happen, wait till after the retrograde. Because a lot of times things can go a little chaotic, and that's not where you want to be during Mercury retrograde. I know that I can go on. I have several other videos and blogs about Mercury retrograde, and you can look for them down in the description area in my blog websites. But for now, it's more about what you need to do in order to get past all of this, just so that you can find the gratitude in your heart. And especially now when you're seeing all this, like, oh, shopping. That's another thing. You know, like this weekend is going to be like crazy for a lot of us in the U.S. And in other parts of the world, they celebrate Black Friday. It's crazy. But you know what? It's kind of like fun, but though it's like not so much fun if you're you know, feeling, oh, I'm feeling like I'm restricted from everything. No, you need to feel like you're engaging and do something fun for yourself this weekend that's coming up, and this whole week. do something that you feel with gratitude. That's why I always say, don't put too much pressure on yourself about something. I know I do the same thing, and I keep working myself up until I feel like I'm going to explode. So don't do that. Let's all work on ourselves in this area, because it's time to take off the mask. And that's what I'm doing. I've been doing. You know, when I came first on this making videos, it was very difficult for me. It was not that I couldn't talk and I couldn't communicate, but, you know, what am I going to say? How am I going to do this? And, you know, it was a bundle of nerves. As soon as I made my first video, like, whoa, piece of cake. I did not know it was so easy, because I took off my mask. Though I did communicate in public places, but just not on video. So that's my example to you. You never know how it's going to turn out if you just be your authentic self. You know, like I said, everybody has their own way of taking off their mask, but I highly recommend that you focus on yourself for this week. You know, do something special with the family, with your friends. You know, try to engage into it a little bit. I know it's not easy sometimes when you're going through stuff. We all have our own challenges, but really try it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that a lot of the messages resonated with you. A lot of things that came through, I was not expecting it. Maybe it didn't match up with some of the cards, but I felt that it was messages. Like I said before, I get messages. The cards are just like tools to bring the messages out, because I am clairvoyant and I do feel energy and empathic. So I can get messages even if I'm just looking at stones or crystals or even staring into the wall. However the messages are coming through, they're not my messages to you. This is a message from up above, from the divine. So you need to take it for what it is and use it to your highest good. And if it didn't resonate with you, I invite you to come back. Maybe you weren't like really focused for whatever reason, and really pay attention to what is being given to you. You'll be surprised on how sometimes you come back to the reading video and it shows you something and you didn't even notice it. Write down, take notes. That's a good thing else as well. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed Thanksgiving. And if those of you are not celebrating, I wish you guys like so much beautiful love and gratitude. And again, thank you, all of you, for showing me the kindness and support, and, you know, just reaching out to me about everything that I talk to you guys about. It means the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. So I'm here for you guys, and you're here for me. So I love this positive energy exchange. So if you do have any questions, you can post them down in the comments area, and I try my best to get to everybody. It's going to be a little crazy this week, but you know what? I'll do it. You know why? Because I love you guys. Okay, so again, happy Thanksgiving. God bless. Namaste.